Hey girl! It's your boy B3 back with another kickin' graphic novel review. Haven't done one in a hot minute, so getting back on it. What was the last one we did? Like Redman Volume 2 maybe? It's been a while since we did one. It's been a while. Today we're gonna do a DC, one I've been wanting to break into for a bit. Batman and the Signal, Duke Thomas. I've kind of become a big Duke Thomas fan recently. Really enjoying Duke. I kind of want to read We Are Robin. And the whole Robin War thing. Because I like Duke. I like Duke. So, Batman and the Signal was a 3-issue miniseries. So they had to pad this out a little bit to make it, thicker. So they add some stuff from All-Star Batman, and they add something from a New Talent Showcase in here. I'll tell you everything that's in it, but first I'm going to read you the back of the book. I always like to do that, just so you guys get a nice read-up. Gotham's newest defender steps into the light. Duke Thomas always wanted to be a hero. During the Robin War, he led an insurgency of teen Robins who insisted that their movement's namesake didn't really need a partner. In the aftermath, Batman himself had taken Duke under his wing to train him, not to be a sidekick, but to be his own man. Now Duke is ready to emerge from his mentor's shadow and take his place as Gotham's protector by day. The Signal! But is he ready for what the light will reveal? Someone has been giving deadly metahuman powers to teenagers living in the Narrows, Gotham's poorest neighborhood. Duke's neighborhood. Even stranger, these newly powered teens seem to have some sort of connection to both Duke and his own barely understood abilities. With the help of the Bat family, the Signal and Batman must protect the city from the rampaging adolescents while also keeping them from harming themselves. But when Duke discovers the true nature of his connection to the crisis, will it signal a dark new chapter for Gotham's bright new hero? Batman mastermind Scott Snyder teams with red-hot rookie writer Tony Patrick to introduce Gotham's newest crime fighter in Batman and the Signal, featuring all-star art by Coley Hamner, Delkin Shavli, and Francesco Franfilla. This volume collects Batman and the Signal 1 through 3, as well as the stories Roll Call from New Talent Showcase 2017 number 1 and The Cursed Wheel from All-Star Batman 1 through 4 and 6 through 9. And this runs about $16.99 at retail in the USA. Now, we've already talked about The Cursed Wheel in other episodes because I reviewed those All-Star Batmans, or at least I believe I did. Yeah, I did. I reviewed those All-Star Batmans because I reviewed 3 volumes of that, I believe. Oh, my kitty's here. Hey, kitty cat. Yes. But we're going to talk about it again just in case you guys didn't see those, because you probably didn't see those, and even if you did, it's been a while, right? So The Cursed Wheel is kind of a condensed physical and psychological training method that Batman puts all his partners through, whether they realize it or not. And different Bat family members kind of are on different parts of the wheel, and that's what their colors adhere to, which is all pretty cool. But first up is a Zsasz story, and I have to show you some art from this story, because Zsasz is drawn so well. Look at this freaky mofo. That's a scary looking Zsasz, dude. Zsasz looks good in this book. Good job, everyone. But Zsasz is hunting down someone, and this one, it's one of those ones that got away. Zsasz never lets anyone get away. And this one's a real detective story, and all the best Batman stories are detective stories. Even though this one isn't a full Batman story, it is more about Duke Thomas. Batman's mostly just there. It's kind of someone for Duke to throw ideas off of, someone to mentor Duke a little bit. Really, really cool. Zsasz is drawn so well. God, he looks freaky. But the Wheel also had a Riddler as part of the villain. And also Duke's friend from the New 52 Batman run, who did end up turning into a metahuman because of the Bloom Seed. And he became able to control pretty much anyone's biology. And in this book, he kind of revealed to Duke that Duke is indeed a meta-human. The bats aren't typically metas. but Duke is indeed a metahuman. Now, Duke's metahuman power is basically that he sees light in different ways than other people. He can kind of rewind and fast forward light in his eyes, so he can, like, view how someone's gonna throw a punch. Or he can, like, rewind and see where someone was. And it's actually a really cool, unique power. I really, really like it. And since he's the Signal and a hero who fights crime during the daytime, I think that also kind of fits his theme, his motif. That power was also kind of displayed in Dark Knight's Metal. I actually thought something from the Dark Knight's Metal prelude would be in here, but they omitted it. They did not show it. And I guess that's because it wasn't terribly Duke heavy. But it's really good. And Duke is kind of like insecure because he doesn't feel like he is on par with other Bat family members. That's one of the reasons he fights crime during the day, actually. Because there's kind of no one to compete against. He just gets to do things his own way. And also because he's, not as dark and troubled as some other Bat characters. And simply because the Gotham kind of needs a daytime hero because stuff's starting to happen in the daytime. Ever since Dark Knight Metal, things kind of just went downhill in Gotham even more because Gotham was a big part of that, and etc. But Duke is a great character. He's very, very relatable. Now, the next story is the one from the New Talent Showcase 2017. It's the Signal and Red Hood training in the Clay Room, which is basically a holodeck made out of Clayface from Detective Comics. It's actually pretty cool. And they go at it real hard, and Catwoman's kind of helping train both of them a little bit, and it's just a fun little story. And this was obviously before Red Hood tried to kill Cobblepot and went rogue. And then the next story is the 1 through 3 Batman and the Signal. About Duke and his powers, kind of where they came from. And this is the one that I'm going to give a big spoiler alert for, because it's quite good, and you might want to read it yourself. The main villain of this claims to be Duke's biological father, and claims that Duke's father that we've known so far just raised him. That his mom ran from him. Sorry, new phone, I haven't turned off all the notification sounds. That his mom ran from him because he was a supervillain, and Duke, so when Duke is around the new metahumans in Gotham, their powers get stronger. Because they get their powers from his dad in this weird solar thing that's hard to explain. Real sci-fi comic book pseudoscience, But it's pretty cool. And then there's this new detective who's introduced, who's on the Gotham day shift, because all the cops that we're familiar with in Gotham are night shift cops. And she's cool. She's missing an arm because of, I believe, some events that happened during Dark Knight's Metal. And she seems like a really cool character. And, Duke has his own base now. He's got 2 of his former Robins helping him. And it's just a lot of great stuff happens in this. To be honest, I would read a Signal solo title. This book really reads like it was setting up for a Signal solo title, and then I don't believe he ever got one. But this absolutely read like a setup for one, and the characters are all great. His former Robin friends are great. His cousin, who he's living with, is great. The detective is great. He's great. Duke is a great character. I really like Duke. So that is it for Batman and the Signal. Fun miniseries. Sometimes when a book is too thin, they include stuff that's not as relevant. Like I've had some Marvel books that had some stuff shoved in like that. Like I have some Thor and Venom stuff with things shoved in. But they really did well with this. This was done really well. I actually enjoyed it more than I expected to be completely honest. Because I bought it and then I saw that it had some other stuff in it that I'd already read, and I was like, But reading the other stuff with that kind of gave it more of a context, so I'm actually glad they included some of that other stuff so people don't have to buy multiple books. This is a good book. I recommend it. You might want to know a little about Duke Thomas going into it, to be completely honest. More Duke Thomas reading recommendations would be All-Star Batman Volume 1, My Own Worst Enemy. We Are Robin, Robin War, things like that. And check out the prelude to Dark Knight's Metal. He was in that, had his powers doing some stuff in that as well. So that's it. My kitty and I are actually going to go watch Toonami. We're filming this right before Toonami starts. In fact, it's 10:49. Toonami starts at 11. So I guess we gotta bounce. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Let me know in the comments what I should do next. Should I do DC, Marvel, or third party? Something else. Something outside DC or Marvel. Because I got plenty of all. So that's it. Thank you all once again. See y'all later.